All right, y'all, welcome to my story time. So I wanted to get on here and share my New York City, Puerto Rico trip. And I'm gonna try to do it as quick as possible. I'm also drinking tea because after this I'm about to lay down some vocals, and keeping the voice for warm is really good for that. So just setting the stage, I got my Yoda cup. I got this at Aldi, $5, y'all. Says may the force be with you. Anywho, let's get right into it. So from September 6th to the 16th, I was in New York City and PR, September 6th to the 12th, and then spent 4 days technically in PR. I say technically because I was supposed to only be out there for 3 days, but I actually missed my flight from New York City to PR because like the bus never came. It was not on me. I definitely woke up early enough. But anyway, so yes, and then actually, so long story short on it, I fly with one of my friends, my closest, dearest friends, my bestie. I fly on her buddy pass system because she works for United, and they allow like friends or fam to like use that, which just means like discounted tickets, discounted flights. The only catch is that you have to do standby. So that day that I was supposed to come home on the 15th, Sunday morning, afternoon, I think it was Sunday evening actually. Excuse me, the flight was completely booked, so I was not or it was full, so I was not able to fly. I had to wait a whole nother day, which like it's kind of like good and bad because like I lost that Thursday on the 12th when I was supposed to fly in, because literally I was supposed to fly in like in the morning on Thursday, and the next flight into PR from New York was at night, literally like I think 9 o'clock at night, so somewhere around there. So I literally lost my Thursday. I spent an entire day at the airport. I feel like I also was not feeling too well around the like Tuesday up until like sometime Wednesday. I was like very much recovering that Thursday. Anywho, so yes, it was a journey, y'all. Let me is there something in my teeth? Oh my god. Let me let me get this floss out, but let's I guess just get right into it. So yes, I'm gonna start with why I went out there in the first place, which there's a couple reasons. Sorry, I literally just ate dinner. Anyways, so one of the main reasons I went out there was for my birthday. My birthday was on the 11th, that Wednesday. So I wanted to fly in on a Friday, be there on a Wednesday, and I left on a Thursday to PR. And I also have been to New York City 2 times before with two different past partners of mine. So I also wanted to kind of go and reclaim the city. I wanted to do like a solo trip, turning 28. I also wanted to like be on my like photography model kind of bag, and like I wanted New York City to be that backdrop for me. And yeah, I just I wanted to like kind of, from the last time that I went out there with my, previous partner. And it was like a really beautiful trip. Especially compared to the first time I ever been to New York City with that partner. I would say it was the opposite. It was not a beautiful trip at all. We literally spent like, I feel like half of it fighting, and I spent time out there actually alone because of how much we were fighting. I'm sorry, this tea got me hot, yeah. I might take my shirt off. Anyways, so the second time I went to New York City, it actually was a really beautiful trip. Because me and that partner, I feel like were more in sync, there was like in love feelings there rather than just like I love this person. So it was a really romantic, really beautiful trip. And so this third time around, I kind of just wanted to like I said, reclaim the city, and then also put any of my baggage behind. Because as y'all know, like I have been like sharing video diaries talking about Eli, and it's just been like really hard letting him go, and really truly letting that version of me go in our relationship more than I would say him. So I wanted that to be a part of that process. It very much was like a healing thing for me. And then PR was supposed to be about connecting back to my roots because, I'm half Puerto Rican. My family is from the I think city of Caguas. I don't know if they call it cities, towns, whatever, but the town of Caguas and Jabacoy. Both of my grandparents are from PR, from the island, so I wanted to like reconnect with my roots. I also made a friend from PR out here at home in Chicago. This was like right at the beginning of the summer, so I had like, told him let's keep in contact, and I would love to come visit, sometime as soon as I can, which I obviously did. And then there was like an event, like a central event that was going on at that same weekend, which was like a him thing, that we also kind of like integrated into the trip. So it was like supporting his DJ friend that was like DJing like a really big club out there. So that was like also kind of a part of the trip. And also this friend was somebody that I feel like we were like kind of talking and like pursuing each other type thing, or seeing if that's something that we were like interested in. So that I guess was also what the trip was about, kind of seeing what our energies are like, in more than on more than one occasion, more than one day. Because when we met here at home, it was literally like we met at the club and like kind of just like made out type thing, and then exchanged numbers. Like we didn't really get to know each other like that. But from that moment onto this one, or when we like hung out in PR, we still remained in contact, especially the closer it got to that trip. So long story short, give me 1 second, I'm gonna take a sip. I hope you didn't hear that. Anyways, so just to get started right into the trip, so I flew in on Friday. I pretty much I actually booked a Airbnb in Jersey, which I like did not know until like I asked the owners like, hey, like what borough is the like listing in the unit? And they were like, oh, like it's like West New York, New Jersey. I was like, oh my God, I'm staying in Jersey. I was like simultaneously like excited, but also like, oh my God, I did not intend for that. I wanted to stay like, in New York. But it still felt like I was staying in New York. And the listing was actually so beautiful. I wish I was like savvy enough to like, I don't know, include that somehow, or like put that on the screen and like show y'all where I stayed, or maybe I can like find it and like put the URL in like the description. It was a beautiful, beautiful booking. I also regret not leaving them a review because like, yo, when I came home, like the shenanigans continued. Shenanigans ensued after I got home because, the last thing I'll say before I get right into my events, excuse me. Ooh. I also was using this trip as like a last hurrah because I finally found a job. So it was supposed to be like, okay, that Sunday that I got back home, on Monday, I was gonna like hit the ground running, starting with work. So having to like, stay an extra day in PR kind of like definitely fucked that up. But long story short, I kind of wanted to like give myself this like, vacation to like accomplish all the things that I said, celebrate my birthday, like blah, blah, blah. And then like come back and like get back to like the real world and like, adulting and blah, blah, blah. So, whatever, I get there in Jersey, the listing is beautiful. I like do run my couple errands to like buy some groceries for the week, some water, like some shampoo type thing that I didn't have time to like pack. And I think Friday night I checked out a couple of different bars. Like I went to the Metropolitan and I didn't really like it. And then I went to the Rosemont, which was like super poppin'. And then Saturday, I looked up like a list of like 10 things, like 10 peaceful things to do in New York City. 10 of the most peaceful places, I'm sorry, in New York City. And like almost half of them were like churches. There was another like island that was like right in the middle between like, this is Manhattan, this is like Jersey, Manhattan, and then Brooklyn. And like right there was like a little island. I don't even remember what it was called, but it actually was really beautiful, really peaceful. There weren't too many people there. And this was like Saturday morning. I went there and fully like in a dress and heels, my Teflar bag. It was a blue little bag from my boo Hana. Love her for letting me borrow that. And then I think Saturday night, I was like too tired to go out. So I went home. And also on this trip, throughout the days, I did kind of hook up with a couple guys, both like, or at the Airbnb, one outside, literally on a rooftop type thing. And then another like at their place. I don't even know how many, I think it was maybe 3. I think those 3, maybe there was a 4th, not sure. I was living my best life for sure. Anyways, so yeah, Saturday night, I think I like called it in early. I kind of just stayed in. I think I may have hooked up with a guy that night. And then Sunday, the shenanigans continued with like, I think I went to Central Park because that was one of the spots. Like, I think it was like Strawberry Fields in Central Park. That was like one of the places on the list. By this point, I also visited a dispensary because it's legal now in New York City. I visited one of the churches on the list that was actually really beautiful, really peaceful. I was like kind of surprised because I believe it was like a Catholic church, and like I know religion gets like a lot of a bad rep and all that, and I always have to remind people I'm not religious, but there's a lot of things that religion say that I'm like, I kind of peep that, I like that. And also the space was very peaceful, very like serene, and like the architecture alone was like so beautiful. I was like living for it. And I took a couple pictures on the outside. Sorry, my roommate was listening to music and then I feel like I couldn't hear it. Anyways, so yeah, then I went to the park. I think I did revisit Rosemont that night to see like what it was like if it was popping or not. And they actually had like a Bushwick event, I believe is what it was called, which was like a drag kind of like festival event. So the bars actually were not as popping as like any other night, I guess. Also, mind you, we're like getting into the fall, so I don't think a lot of people are visiting New York City. It's, you know, and then most of the locals are at that Bushwick event. So like the bar scene was a bit dead while I was out there, but I honestly didn't mind because I was able to make friends with the staff there and like any locals that were showing up. And then like I think Sunday night when I went, one of the bartenders told me that they were doing karaoke, I think on Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday. And I had never done, even like at home, I've never done karaoke before. So I was like, oh my God, like it's my birthday week. I'm in New York City. I'm gonna do karaoke for the first time. It was literally so cute. Excuse me. And then I'm trying to think of anything else I did. Oh, I think both Monday and Tuesday I ended up seeing a film, yes, a film, not a movie. There was this movie called His Three Daughters that was like a Netflix film, but they like were showing it early in the Paris Theater in Manhattan. It was such a good film, such a beautiful theater, such a beautiful experience. And I also again went full crossed. I had this cow print dress on with these black platform heels. It was such a moment. Everyone literally were eyes on me. Even coming from like Jersey to get to Manhattan, like it's like a 40-50 minute bus commute that goes to like a central port authority, the 42nd Port Authority in New York City. I got real familiar with that, y'all. Like I was there a lot, every single day, literally at least twice a day, there and back. So yes, like just popping out in Jersey almost every single day, every single night, and like dress in heels. And mind you, everyone out there is very suburban, very like average Joe Schmo, and they're looking at, and actually they had a huge Hispanic population, huge Hispanic and like Middle Eastern population where I was staying. I was like very surprised about that. And yeah, they were just not ready for Demetrius. And then I get to Manhattan and there's all these like European, like, foreigner, like, visitors, because like, I feel like very quickly, if you've ever been to New York City, it only takes one time, maybe two, you know who's a New Yorker versus who is not. And it's because of who is staring at you versus who is not. Like the people giving you the looks are the people that are not from New York City, and the people minding their business are the people from New York City. So yes, there was a lot of like white people staring me down, and I half was like checking, and the other half I could just feel their like gaze on me. So that was like a whole experience. But on Tuesday, that next night, I saw, man. Oh my God, it's that Zoe Kravitz film. What was it called? Blind. I'm literally so upset that I can't remember it. Blink Twice, Blink Twice. Yes, Demetrius, Virgo brain. I saw Blink Twice at AMC because, you know, $5 Tuesdays, baby girl. I was saving all the money that I could. Mind you, did not have a job. I've been jobless up until this point. I guess doing Uber, but that's not sufficient enough. So I was very much trying to save as much money as possible, and that's why like I went to the Rosemont as many nights as I did because like it was free to get up in there. The beer, because I'm like new to beer, I kind of am starting to like it, like IPAs type thing, and that they had actually a beer that I really liked, like a canned beer that was like fucking $4. So I was saving every fucking penny. And then I think I visited Central Park again. Actually, no. So next came Wednesday, which is my birthday. Give me one second. But before that, it was on Tuesday that I went to this Korean barbecue restaurant, had like some wings. Eh, oh, give me one second. The cats are fighting. Hey, what is going on? Hey, Twilight, stop. Oh my god, not them interrupting the story. Anyways, because I really need to wrap this up. Where was I? Literally. Oh, the Korean barbecue restaurant. I don't know if it was that or I actually had just started prep right before I left to this trip. And I feel like my body was not responding well to the medication. And I was taking the like doxy pep prep whatever because like I said I was like cooking up and I wanted to make sure excuse me that I wasn't getting HIV or any STDs. So and also I mind you I was not really eating on this trip because again I was poor and like even before I left to the trip I kind of had been surviving on coffee honestly. So on the trip I was very much like I'm not gonna eat a lot, I'm just gonna get like hydrated, get some coffee in the morning to keep me going and maybe get some fruit here and there. But this was one of the days that I was like, okay, let me get some food because I tried to treat myself at least once to a meal a day, like an actual meal, not just like some fucking fruit. So Tuesday I had chose to go to that Korean barbecue place. And I don't again know if it was like the medication or the food, but something really fucked me up. And then that night I went to do that karaoke and I was like drinking. I think I had like maybe 2 3 drinks. And then actually that night one of the people that I met there offered me ice. I think that's what we say, right? On the down low, they offer me ice in the bathroom, or like, do you want to go in the bathroom and do snowflakes, whatever the fuck it's called? And I was like, yeah, of course. Which is not my first time that I've done that. I've done that at home as well. So I'm just a nutcase, y'all. Do not follow my example. Anyways, so by the time I'm like leaving to get home, mind you, as soon as 12 o'clock hits, like the buses back to Jersey run once an hour. Like before 12, they run every fucking 10 minutes, but after 12, they run once a fucking hour. So like it took me at least like 3 tries to like really figure out how to get back home in one piece. Mind you, those first 2 3 times, like I was drunk as fuck in a dress and heels, tired as fuck by myself, phone dying, like no money. Like it was getting dire, y'all. But by Tuesday, although I was like not feeling the best, I still was able to like, get myself home. And I was this close. I was this close to making it home without throwing up on the fucking bus. And it was literally the stop before my stop. I literally like, it was like just this much. Like I swear to God, it was just a little bit that I felt it coming up. But I was like, and it fell out kind of like, I would say like 2% of it fell out in my hand. And it was, think about like 100% throwing up. I feel like I threw up 10%. And like 1 or 2% fell in my hand. The rest was on the floor. And I was sitting next to somebody. And I was like, oh fuck, he's definitely gonna get up and wanna like leave. And then like within like 30 seconds, he literally didn't say nothing. He just got up. And I was like, I'm sorry. Oh, it was so embarrassing. But whatever, my stop was the next stop, so I didn't even care. I was rolling with the punches. I got off the bus and like took 2 steps off of the bus right in front of somebody's fucking home door, even though it's like a main street, like people, it was like residential places as well. So whatever, I just like put my hand on some random person's door and I like just so much, so I felt so bad. I threw up so much and I just like had to walk away because when I get sick, I very much will faint quickly and I need to like sit down or lay down. So I was like, I have to like sit down, I have to sit down. And it was maybe like a 3 block uphill, mind you, to my Airbnb. And I just needed to like walk down the street and turn the corner to like have a seat. And I did. But I felt so bad. Like, oh my God, like I threw up in front of somebody's door. Like, if this video ever gets to them, I'm so, so sorry, love. I had no choice. Okay, so let's chug on, because I really want this video to end soon. So yes, then it was like my birthday and I got in so late that I was like, I woke up like super fucking late. I usually try to start the day really early, but I was so fucking tired that day. I like kind of almost couldn't. But I like, this was my last day in New York City and it was my fucking birthday. And I had a whole day planned. Like I was gonna go visit the 9/11 memoriam site, which this was also a part of like why I went to New York City during this time. Like for my birthday, yes, but I specifically wanted to go to the 9/11 memoriam site to kind of connect with the space because obviously like that happened and all these people died on my birthday, and the 2 times that I came before I like we didn't go. So it was really important for me to go and connect. So I ended up going and I made it out as like sick as I was feeling. Like it literally took every fiber of my soul to get myself up, take a shower, get the fuck up out of there. But by the time I got there, like, I feel like I started to, well, there I still was a little hazy, but then as I was leaving the site, I started to feel a bit better. But also, like, I had to crunch in that event because I was doing my IG lives, my weekly IG lives that I do with my friend Bloom, at like, I don't know, 5, 6 p.m. And mind you, I initially wanted to like do that early in the morning so that I could make it back to the Airbnb to do it there. But now we were mobile and I had to find a fucking place to do this Instagram live, which I did. Like, please go check out my Instagram. So you can see like my photo shoots from New York City and that Instagram live that I did. Like that, up until this point, it was a miracle. It was a miracle, like what I was doing, what I was accomplishing, the amount of things that I did in that time. So anyways, I also, after the Instagram live, I was not going to go back to Central Park. However, I really wanted to go back because there was this it was ended up being Cherry Hill, which is like a site that like me and my past partner, my last ex, we took a photo together. That was like a really beautiful picture to me. And I don't know why, like it just hit me in that moment, like, oh my God, I should go back and like take a photo. Like I'm for a long time gonna have this opportunity. So like, let me go fucking do that. Mind you, I had no idea how to find it. And it was like at like 9 o'clock at night. The park is about to close at like 11. So like I had time, but also this is my last night there and I had not packed at all because again, I was like sick throwing up earlier this morning. So again, like it was a miracle. I don't know how I fucking found the spot that late at night in the fucking dark, such on like a spontaneous whim of a thing. And the second I get there, I'm out. Like I'm bawling my eyes out, fucking crying. I'm calling my friend Hannah and like, actually I don't think I was calling her. I think I was like texting her and just like, it was like the saddest moment I think of my life. But the pictures, the photos that I got were so beautiful to me, so strong. I was so proud of myself for that. And just impressed too that I did that. Like and so long story short, I made it back to the Airbnb. I did one last photo shoot at that location because this whole week I had not really spent a lot of time. Like I did spend time there, but I wasn't like as present as I could have been with the space. So I really wanted to like, there was this like black and white, very beautiful, like vintage looking couch that was like down there with me that I wanted to like, capture that moment or like, take advantage of like the backdrop. And I'm very, again, proud of myself and impressed that I accomplished that. And by this point, like I literally was only going to get like 4 hours of fucking sleep because I had to wake up so early to catch my morning flight. So whatever, I like, get some shut eye, get some rest. I wake up, finish packing, I'm ready to go. And I think I gave myself like 20 minutes to spare to just excuse me, sit in the back because they had like a back door. Like, I wouldn't even say it's a backyard. It felt more like a really beautiful patio. That was like had this very beautiful, like overlooking the New York City skyline. Just so, it was so beautiful. Like I cannot stress it enough. Like I have to find this listing and like share it with y'all because like, oh my goodness gracious. Like, also I'm like, okay, some things need to be gate kept, but like it was just so beautiful. I'm so glad the way that everything turned out. So okay, let's keep on chugging. I whatever, get my stuff and go. The bus does not show up. Like, it's like 30 minutes late. So I start to try to pivot and like go to like a different street. That'll be a different bus to get me where I need to go. And I end up getting to the airport with like 20 minutes to spare. Like 20 minutes to get through security and into the, you know, the plane. And I'm gonna share like what happened at that time later, because like if I hadn't done what I did, I would have probably made that flight. But like I mentioned in the beginning, I missed the flight. I had to spend the day there. So I fly into PR. My, you know, friend picks me up, and then we go to the Airbnb together, and we kind of just like got a bottle of wine, we're drinking, listening to music, talking, really enjoying each other's company. And then that Friday morning, afternoon, we woke up and went to the beach. And up until that point, it was like a really beautiful experience. We also, I took more drugs on this trip on the PR side of it, which we had like been planned. We were gonna like do Molly for that DJ event, and then like shrooms at the beach on Friday. So, you know, it ended up being that he didn't have enough shrooms for both of us, and I actually had an edible from like back home that I brought with me, because you can apparently bring edibles on planes now. And it was a 50 milligram edible, which most people take like 10 milligrams. So this was times 5, and I had done it like 2-3 times already. So whatever, we just like kind of exchanged drugs. I took the shrooms, he took the edibles, and then I started tripping bad, y'all. I'm going to make a separate video about like the emotional experience of this entire trip, but I'm just kind of giving you the events, and I'll talk about all the details later. So yes, I was on the shrooms and at the beach, and then like it started to get really bad, really scary. I started to get very suicidal because, you know, I kind of have, I would say it's very much decreased the last like week or two, but from that moment, especially like a couple of weeks before, I had definitely been feeling very like low. So yeah, I started having a really bad experience, and whatever, we got through that day. Saturday rolls around. We spent some time like in downtown San Juan. We went to Kawa so I can like kind of reconnect on what we didn't go to Jabacoy where my abuelo is from, but we went to Kawas because they had like a mall there, and we were trying to get like some food out there. So that portion of the day was really beautiful. But then like the night portion, which again I'll have to get into at a different time. I was not really vibing well with the club and like the music, and I was on Molly and ecstasy. Actually, they like had that last minute, and I took both of them, and like I'll talk about it later. But then Sunday rolls around, and like by this point he and I are kind of like not seeing eye to eye anymore. It kind of became like there was like tension between us. So long story short, I had to like wait another day. I had to get an Airbnb, and like he was willing to give me a ride at least to that Airbnb. And ever since then I have not heard from him, but I did obviously make it back home. I did take advantage of having like one last night in PR because I missed that Thursday, my Thursday day. But now I had all of Sunday to explore and like, you know, take advantage. So that's essentially it, y'all. That's the like foundational story time of my New York City, Puerto Rico trip. Of course, like the actual experience of like being out in both cities and like everything that I just said that I was doing and did. And like I made a bunch of friends along the way, or in New York City, not necessarily PR. But I kind of lost a friend from the PR trip. So I definitely want to get into another video when I have more time to talk more about it. But that is essentially it, y'all. That is my New York City PR storytime trip. This did remind me that I still need to do my Arizona story time because, like, oh my God, that kind of correlates to a lot of the things that, a lot of the lessons that I took with me in this trip, especially on the New York City side. But then I feel like the PR side was kind of like a Arizona 2.0, like it very much like kind of happened again. So I'm definitely gonna get on both of those videos, and I have like so much content coming, so many stories I want to start telling, and I appreciate anyone that, you know, is watching, listening, that makes it this far. I know these videos are long. I'm such an intimate yapper, but thank you for listening and intimately yapping with me. I will see you in the next one. I love you, my love.